In 2011, in a Russian city, an unnamed 55-year-old was bitten by a small steppe viper after his third attempt at a trick with it. He later died following an allergic reaction to the bite. In July 2019, Ettore Weber, who was said to be one of Italy's best circus trainers, was rehearsing with 4 tigers. One tiger set upon Ettore before the other 3 joined in and mauled him. The tigers then played with his body in their cage until staff and paramedics could intervene. He later died from his injuries. In 2010, in Pennsylvania, an unnamed trainer was stomped to death by a spooked elephant. People at the James Hamid Circus rushed to help, but not before the trainer sustained life-threatening injuries. It was unclear what spooked the elephant, but it was calmed down by those on the scene. Valentin Bulich was a bear trainer from Moscow. In October 2020, he had forgot to take off his face mask before entering the animal's cage. The trained bear didn't recognize Valentin, and when he came into his enclosure, he attacked him. He tore the trainer's scalp off and clawed at his body. Fellow workers managed to drag the battered body of the young man out of the cage, but he died in hospital as a result of his injuries. Dan Brandon, 31, from Hampshire in the UK, was a lover of exotic pets and had 10 snakes and 12 tarantulas. His 2.4 or 8 foot pet African rock python, called Tiny, wrapped itself around him and asphyxiated him. He was found dead by his mother Babs the next day in his bedroom, with the python close by. His mother said that Dan was wary of Tiny than the other snakes and had actually stopped putting her around his neck because she was so strong and unpredictable. In February 2016, Gareth Crowe and his 16-year-old daughter were riding an elephant on a trekking tour on Paradise Island, Koh Samui. The elephant lashed out after its handler kept poking the animal with a bull hook. The father and daughter were thrown from the bull elephant, who then gored Gareth through the chest with its tusk and trampled on him before running off into a nearby forest. Gareth and his daughter were taken to hospital, where Gareth later died of his injuries. His daughter was treated for her minor injuries. Ali Khan Samsudin was known as Malaysia's Snake King. He earned the title after living with 40 cobras for 12 hours a day for 40 days in a small room in the early 1990s. In November 2006, he was bitten by one of his cobras during a show in Kuala Lumpur. He died 3 days later. On November 27, 2016, circus trainer Islam Shaheen, 25, an employee at the Lion Village Circus in Alexandria, was trying to complete a complicated routine with 3 lions in a cage. As he motioned for one cat to move, another leapt off his stand and pounced on Islam. The 200-kilogram cat mauled the trainer in front of a packed audience. Fellow workers armed with sticks were unable to fight the big cat off, and Islam was eventually rescued and taken to hospital but died of his injuries, including a fractured skull. In 2013, tiger handler Alexander Crispin was strutting around and showing off 2 Bengal tigers on the stage of the Circo Suarez in Mexico when one of the big cats had had enough. He pounced on Crispin and sank his teeth and claws into the man's neck. Crispin was rushed to hospital, but he died from loss of blood. On August 20th, 1994, Tyke the elephant, already known for her difficult and dangerous behaviour, due to enduring years of abuse, killed her trainer and critically injured a groomer during her performance. On the night of the attack, a cheering crowd awaited a light-hearted performance, but Tyke began kicking her groomer, William Beckworth, around like a ragdoll. Trainer Alan Campbell stepped in to try wrangle Tyke into submission, but his attempts were futile. The 9,500-pound elephant crushed Campbell to death with her legs and body. After killing Campbell and injuring the groomer, Tyke took to the streets of Honolulu. Police tragically shot Tyke 87 times. The man sent to recover her body later claimed that Tyke had tears in her eyes.